Hello everyone, this is Ronnie from the YouTubes, and we're talking about raw food stuff in this channel. At the UK Fruit Fest last week, which is a raw vegan festival in the UK, it's really not a festival, but it is called a festival. But anyway, at the festival, what happened was there was a lot of questions, and one of the questions that came up is kind of interesting. It's about whether you should get mercury fillings removed, and what's your thoughts on that? And we had a panel discussion, and one of the guys in the panel, Roger King, he was saying that he'd had all the mercury fillings removed and he'd had a dentist talk to him about it. Another person in the panel, Dr. Doug Graham, said that he'd had a look into it, but he didn't get them removed because he just felt like the extra work wasn't really worth it. The damage that could be done, the risk of mercury wasn't really an issue, and he went into some chemistry around it. And then one of our guests from the festival went into her story about mercury, and she got all her mercury fillings taken, and she was talking about being poisoned by mercury, and she could barely walk because of mercury and all these problems with mercury, and and so that was her story, and she shared that. And then I asked a doctor that we had, you might know her as raw vegan doctor, Dr. Areli. She was in the audience and she works with the brain and stuff. So I asked her if she would comment on it. Does she see mercury as a poisonous thing and talk to? She said that she's never seen mercury in anyone's brain. She never seen any heavy metals in the brain. So when raw vegan people say they've got heavy metals in the brain, they're trying to detox. It's not matching with the reality of what people that work with the brain see. So there was all these different. I don't think we've got a good answer to that question, what's the best thing? But for me, my comment on it is that it feels like a sales gimmick. It feels like a sales gimmick for dentists. And I think people forget that dentists and doctors and other health practitioners, they are business people as well, in a sense. And maybe not so much in the UK as much because it's a bit more of a public system, but they're still, even though it's a public system, that doesn't mean there's an unlimited checkbook. They have to still do work that is legitimate, and dentists can't just be randomly doing stuff to you. They have to write down what they're doing, they have to justify it, they have to send it to the NHS and all that to get billed and whatever. And they'll have a look on it, and if some dentist is giving everyone 20 fillings that they don't need, then they're obviously going to go and investigate that and probably close them down pretty quick. So all these things are tracked. But my first question with that is, why isn't this something that's popular and done all the time? It could make dentists a lot of money. If this is all like mercury fillings from the past, I don't even know the whole story. Are they still putting in mercury fillings now? I don't really entirely know. I'm guessing that mercury is part of the composite, but that doesn't mean it's mercury now. It means that it's a compound of mercury with other things. Mercury is a metal that is liquid at room temperature. It's one of the few metals that is liquid at room temperature. I think it's mercury, and maybe it may be the only one actually, mercury that's liquid at room temperature, or bromine maybe, or something like that. So it's one of the few metals, or the only metal potentially liquid at room temperature. And we all know it has a reputation of being poisonous because it was used by people that made hats, and they would use mercury on the hats. I'm not sure why, but they would put mercury on the hats, and they would be inhaling mercury, and they would go mad like over a period of time. That's where the phrase "the Mad Hatter" comes from Alice in Wonderland. So hatters were all like crazy people, and eventually they worked out it's because they were using mercury all the time and continuously exposed to it. So this goes along with the idea that people have mercury fillings. And it's the same with vaccinations. There's mercury in the vaccines, there's mercury in the fish. We've got this idea that mercury is toxic, which it is. But as with everything, toxicity is all about the dose. So it's all about the dose, how it's actually, how you're exposed to it, how much of it, how long you're exposed to it. So I'm sure we're all exposed to mercury all the time to a degree. It's probably all over the place. But you need to have like quite a heavy exposure to it for something to happen. Do we see mercury poisoning happening from people with mercury fillings? It seems pretty clear no. It seems pretty clear. If that was, because tooth decay is, billions of people get tooth decay. Billions of people have fillings. It's in the, almost literally billions of people have fillings. So I would reckon there must be millions, tens of millions of people, hundreds of millions of people with mercury fillings, if that's the case. And I don't really know, is this fillings, I don't know the full history, but is this fillings that used to happen? Do they still happen now? I don't understand the whole thing. But if there are things that used to happen, it'll still be tens of millions of people, and we should be seeing loads of cases of mercury poisoning, and we're not really seeing that at all. Um, is it having an impact on some people? Not really sure. There's definitely people that have stories about it having an impact on them, and they got the fillings taken out, made a difference. But I don't think we know for sure about that. Why aren't dentists offering it all the time? It would be a way for them to make extra money. Um, it would probably be a fairly easy thing for them to do compared to other procedures. So I don't know why is it only, it seems like holistic dentists that offer that kind of thing. It's like it's a particular niche in the dental industry. So I'm not a big, not so convinced by it. I'm personally not so convinced by it. It's not really something I'd worry about. I don't I've got fillings. I've got quite a lot of fillings, but I don't know exactly what they're made of. I have a, you can call it a naive trust that dentists aren't allowed to just put poisonous, you know, disease-causing composites in your teeth. I think that they've probably tried a lot of different things out by now and worked out the things that work the best. And they're probably not perfect, but I'm really really highly doubtful that they're just randomly putting in poisonous mercury that's going to poison you into your mouth. I really don't believe in these stories. These are all conspiracies to me, and they're marketing stories. They're conspiracy theories that play on people's fears. The fact that someone would be so scared by the idea there's mercury in their mouth and that that's killing them, and that they would then go for thousands of pounds of treatment to get them all taken out and put other ones back in. It's, to me, it's a fear gimmick, um, sales process that's just rife in the health industry, the natural health industry. Big fear, conspiracy, the government's bad, the big corporations are bad, the pharmaceuticals are all bad and evil, the farmers are incompetent. And so buy these supplements, it's like, why do people fall for this stuff? It's because it actually taps into their own personal bias, um, and their own insecurities about their position in the world, and the feeling that all these big corporations and things, that they're all imposing, oppressing you and giving you a bad life, so they must all be bad. It's not as simple as that. Uh, Life is a total grey area thing, with everything being a grey area when it comes to, it doesn't matter if it's a pharmaceutical company or Monsanto or McDonald's or whoever. Like, there's total grey areas of bad things they do, good things they do, incompetent things they do, illegal things they do, and it's not all very clear. It's not as easy as just saying, well, that's bad because it's, you know, conventional medicine says so or something or whatever. So this is not a big thing that I would worry about. And if you're worried about what's happening in your mouth and with your teeth, then speak to your dentist about it. Ask their opinions. You can go to a number of dentists, and maybe they don't know a lot. Maybe there's not a lot of good dentists around. But if they could get more work out of you and therefore make money, and they're not wanting to do it, there must be a good reason for that. Like, if you go to them and say, I've got all these mercury fillings, should I get them taken out, and they're like, there's not really any reason to do that, why would they miss out on the opportunity to make some extra money, or get some extra business or whatever? Um, why would they miss out on that opportunity unless there's really no reason for them to do it, and ethically they don't want to just take money off you for something that's pointless? So for me, when it comes to health, all these things are not the focus. I do think you need to get proper dental care at times. I hope that you take care of your teeth better than I did, and I've wrecked a lot of my teeth, to be honest, with bad dental hygiene practices, not really um, looking after my teeth enough, and on a raw food diet, eating a lot of dried fruit, which I think is really places a big risk on your teeth. So don't. I say this all the time, I think, but really stay away from dried fruit if you've got any kind of concerns about your teeth, or you have to get any cavities or work done. It's time to eliminate all the dried fruit for a while. But um, this isn't a big. To me, this is a distraction away from the reality of your health. Sleep more, eat a better diet, eat more fruits and vegetables, improve your relationships, try and improve your environment in life, your working conditions, maybe try and get a better job or a better situation, improve your relationships. These are the things you can work on that make a real impact and a difference. And getting the mercury fillings taken out of your mouth, I don't think is going to make the big difference. But some people have claimed it has, so you know you can look at the testimonials and see what you think. I just don't think there's a lot of evidence out there showing that. If we're looking into the science behind it, um, I don't think it's something to focus on. So save your money, look after your teeth, but there's no need to do these things, in my personal opinion, and I think that's backed up by the opinion of most dentists worldwide. Anyway, thank you for watching. Take care of yourself, stay fruity, enjoy your life. Fruit is the truth, and we'll see you in the next video.